gentle glow of Lumi, the firefly. Once upon a time, in the middle of the whispering woods, when the sun was slowly melting into the horizon like warm honey dripping from a spoon, the sky turned the softest, most beautiful shade of purple. It was the color of lavender flowers swaying in a gentle breeze, the color of sleepy dreams and quiet thoughts. The air was cooling down now, after a long, warm day, gently brushing against the tall pine trees, carrying with it the sweet, earthy smell of moss and pine needles and wildflowers closing their petals for the night. Everything in the forest was settling down, getting ready for the quiet, peaceful night ahead. The birds had sung their final songs and tucked their heads beneath their wings. The butterflies had found their secret resting places under leaves. Even the busy ants had returned to their underground homes, ready to rest after a long day of work. High up in the branches, low down near the roots, and everywhere in between, the ancient trees whispered soft lullabies to one another. The leaves rustled gently, swaying back and forth, like a mother rocking a cradle or a boat drifting on a calm lake. The woods were called the Whispering Woods for this very reason, because even the trees knew how to speak in gentle, sleepy voices that made everyone who heard them feel safe and peaceful. In a cozy hollow of an old oak tree, its bark rough and weathered from many, many years of seasons, there lived a tiny firefly named Lumi. Lumi was the smallest firefly in all of the Whispering Woods. His wings were delicate and soft, like the thinnest tissue paper, almost see-through when the light shone through them just right. They made the quietest flutter sound when he flew, softer than a whisper, softer than a breath. But what made Lumi different from all the other fireflies was his light. While the other fireflies glowed bright and bold, flashing like tiny disco balls in the dusky air, their lights sharp and dazzling, Lumi's light was soft and dim, just a gentle golden glow, like the last ember of a campfire dying down, or a faraway star twinkling at the edge of the universe, or the soft glow of a nightlight in a dark hallway that helps you feel safe. Every evening, as the sky turned from blue to purple to deep indigo, all the fireflies in the Whispering Woods would wake up from their day of rest. They would stretch their wings, yawn tiny firefly yawns, and then whoosh, they would zoom out into the cooling air. They would laugh and chase each other through the trees, their lights flashing bright, calling to one another, "Look at me. Look how bright I shine. Watch me zoom. Watch me glow." But Lumi would sit quietly on his favorite leaf, a broad, soft leaf on the old oak tree that curved gently like a hammock, and he would look down at his own small glow. He would watch the light coming from his tiny body, so soft, so gentle, so different from everyone else's. And he would feel a little bit sad, a small ache in his tiny heart. Why is my light so soft? He would wonder, his wings drooping just a little. Why can't I shine bright and bold like everyone else? Why am I so different? Tonight, just like every night, Lumi took a deep breath, slowly in through his tiny nose, slowly out, and gently lifted his delicate wings. Flutter, flutter, soft and slow, like the turning of a page in a bedtime storybook. He flew away from the hollow of the old oak tree, drifting through the cooling evening air like a dandelion seed floating on a breeze, like a feather falling from the sky, taking its time, in no hurry at all. He didn't fly fast like the others. He couldn't. His wings were made for slow, gentle movement. So he moved slowly, slowly, gliding between the branches, under the drooping ferns, past the wildflowers that were folding their soft petals closed for the night, saying their own quiet goodnights to the world. As Lumi flew deeper into the forest, moving through pockets of cool air and warm air, he noticed something. The other fireflies were zipping and zooming everywhere, their lights flashing on and off, bright and busy and excited. They were so full of energy, so eager to play and flash and show off their brilliant lights. The whole forest seemed to sparkle and dance with their brightness. But down below, on the soft, mossy ground covered with fallen leaves and tiny mushrooms, Lumi saw a little squirrel trying to settle into her nest. She had worked so hard to make it perfect, gathering the softest grasses and the fluffiest bits of moss. Now she was curled up in a cozy ball, her bushy tail wrapped around her like a fuzzy blanket, her tiny paws tucked under her chin. But every time the bright fireflies zoomed past her tree, their lights flashed right into her nest, right into her closed eyes, and she would blink and squint and sigh a frustrated little sigh. "I just want to sleep," she mumbled softly. "But the lights, they're so bright, they keep waking me up." She tried covering her eyes with her tail, but still the flashing lights found their way through. Lumi drifted down slowly, slowly, like a leaf falling in autumn, until he was hovering just above a soft patch of moss near the squirrel's tree. His gentle, golden glow was so soft, so warm, like candlelight shining through a window on a cold night, like the glow of the moon on fresh snow. It didn't flash. It didn't flicker. It just glowed, steady and gentle and kind. The squirrel opened one sleepy eye and looked at Lumi floating there. Her eye was dark and shiny, reflecting his soft light. "Oh," she whispered, her voice like the rustle of dried leaves being pushed by the gentlest breeze. "Your light is so gentle. It doesn't hurt my eyes at all. It doesn't startle me or wake me up. It feels safe. It feels like home." And with that, she closed her eyes again, pulled her tail a little tighter around herself, took a deep, slow breath, and drifted off to sleep. Her breathing became slow and steady, in and out, like the rhythm of the whispering wind, like waves gently touching the shore and pulling back, touching and pulling back. Lumi's heart felt a little warmer, a little fuller. Maybe his light wasn't so bad after all. Maybe it was helpful. He flew on slowly, slowly, deeper into the whispering woods. His wings made the softest sound, flutter, 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 like a heartbeat, like the sound of a soft blanket being pulled up to your chin, like the whisper of a goodnight kiss. The night was calm and quiet now, except for the distant flashing of the other fireflies, still zooming and playing far away, their voices faint and cheerful. Lumi passed by a patch of forget-me-nots, their tiny blue flowers closed up tight for the night. He drifted over a fallen log covered in soft, green moss that felt like velvet. Everything in the forest was preparing for rest, for sleep, for dreams. Soon, Lumi came to a hollow in a tall birch tree, its white bark glowing silvery in the moonlight that was just beginning to peek through the branches. Inside the hollow, a little owl was perched on a branch, trying very hard to sleep. His feathers were fluffy and soft, puffed up to keep him warm. But his big, round eyes kept opening because the bright, flashing lights from the other fireflies kept startling him awake. Every time a firefly zoomed past with its bright, flashing light, the little owl would hoot softly in surprise. Who, I just want to rest, he murmured, blinking his enormous eyes slowly, fighting to keep them closed. But the lights keep surprising me. I can't settle down. His head swiveled back and forth, watching the flashing lights, unable to ignore them. Lumi floated closer, moving through the opening of the hollow slowly, carefully, respectfully. His soft glow began to light the inside of the hollow like a tiny nightlight, the kind that parents put in children's rooms so they won't be afraid of the dark. It wasn't too bright, not at all. It was just enough to see by, just enough to feel safe and cozy. The little owl turned his head. Owls can turn their heads very far, you know, and looked at Lumi with grateful, sleepy eyes. "Thank you, little one," he whispered, his voice soft as falling snow. "Your light is like the moon. It doesn't startle me or wake me up. It helps me feel peaceful. It helps me dream." And the little owl tucked his head beneath his wing, and his big eyes slowly closed, his long lashes resting on his soft feathers. His breathing became deep and peaceful, his chest rising and falling, and soon he was fast asleep, dreaming of soft clouds and silent skis and flying through moonbeams. Lumi smiled a tiny smile. His light might be soft and dim, but maybe that was okay. Maybe that was even good. Maybe different didn't mean wrong. He flew on through the forest, his heart feeling lighter now, gliding over a babbling brook that whispered and giggled as it flowed over smooth, round stones worn soft by years and years of water. The water was cool and clear, and it reflected the deepening purple sky above like a mirror, like glass, rippling gently where it moved around rocks and fallen twigs. Tiny fish were settling into the shadows under the banks, finding their sleeping spots. Frogs sat on lily pads with their eyes half closed, breathing slowly, croaking their final evening songs. Near the edge of the brook, under a graceful willow tree, whose long branches hung down like curtains, like a tent, touching the ground and creating a secret, cozy space underneath, Lumi saw a baby deer. She was so small, so delicate, with tiny white spots on her brown fur that looked like little stars. She was lying on a bed of soft ferns, their fronds creating a cushion beneath her. Her legs were tucked beneath her body, folded carefully, and her eyes were half closed, heavy with sleepiness. But she kept shifting and stirring, unable to fully relax and let sleep come. The bright fireflies above were still flashing and playing, and their lights danced across the water of the brook, making bright, moving patterns that reflected up onto the willow branches, and even onto the baby deer's spotted fur. The patterns were pretty, but they were also distracting, making it impossible for her to rest. Lumi descended slowly, gently, carefully, like a feather falling from the sky, like a snowflake drifting down on a winter night. He landed on a fern frond right next to the baby deer, his tiny feet gripping the soft, green leaf. His soft, golden glow lit up the space around them, warm and steady, not moving, not flashing, just there, constant and comforting, like the feeling of being tucked into bed with your favorite stuffed animal, like the feeling of your mother's hand on your forehead when you're almost asleep. The baby deer turned her head slowly and looked at Lumi with big, dark, sleepy eyes. Her eyelashes were long and delicate. "Your light is so peaceful," she whispered, her voice soft as a sigh, barely louder than a breath. "It doesn't flash or startle me or make my eyes tired from trying to follow it. It just glows, like a hug made of light, like love." And the baby deer laid her head down on the soft moss, her neck stretching out, her nose almost touching the ground. She closed her eyes slowly, slowly, and let out a long, slow breath that seemed to release all the tension from her tiny body. Her ears, which had been alert and listening, relaxed and drooped. Her body became completely still and peaceful, and soon she was dreaming of warm meadows filled with flowers, of her mother's gentle voice, of sunshine and gentle rain, and everything soft and good in the world. Lumi sat very still on the fern, his light glowing steadily, watching her sleep. He watched her sides move up and down with each slow breath. He watched her eyelids, closed and peaceful. And for the first time that night, for the first time in a long, long time, he didn't feel sad about his soft, dim light. He didn't wish he was different. He didn't wish he could flash bright and bold like the others. He realized something wonderful, something important, something true. His light wasn't meant to be bright and bold. It wasn't meant to flash and zoom and shout, "Look at me, look at me." His light was gentle. It was kind. It was the kind of light that helped others feel safe, the kind of light that whispered, "It's okay to rest now. You're safe. You can let go. You can sleep." His light was perfect exactly as it was, because it did something special. It helped others find peace. Lumi lifted his wings once more, slowly, slowly, feeling grateful and happy and proud. He flew through the quiet forest, weaving between the trees under the branches, past sleeping mushrooms and closed flowers. The other fireflies were beginning to settle down now too, their games winding down as the night grew deeper and later. Their lights were dimming, their laughter fading, as they found their own resting places. The moon was rising higher now, big and silver and beautiful, casting long, sleepy shadows across the forest floor. The stars were twinkling high above in the dark velvet sky, like tiny diamonds, like distant fireflies, each one glowing in its own special way. The whole world felt soft and hushed, like a blanket being pulled up over everything, tucking the whole forest into bed. Lumi found his way back to the old oak tree, to his favorite leaf, the one that was broad and soft and curved just right, like it had been made specially for him. He landed gently on it, feeling it bend ever so slightly under his tiny weight, cradling him. He folded his delicate wings against his body, settling in, getting comfortable. And he let his soft, golden glow continue to shine, just a little, just enough, a tiny beacon of gentleness in the peaceful night. Around him, the whispering woods were finally completely still. The squirrel was asleep in her nest, dreaming of acorns and sunny days. The little owl was dreaming in his hollow, dreaming of flying through moonbeams. The baby deer was resting peacefully by the brook, dreaming of meadows and her mother's love. And all around the forest, other creatures were sleeping, too: mice in their burrows, rabbits in their warrens, birds in their nests, all safe, all peaceful, all dreaming. And Lumi, the gentlest firefly in all the forest, the firefly with the softest, dimmest light, closed his eyes and felt proud. Proud of his soft light, proud of his kindness, proud of who he was. He didn't need to be like everyone else. He was perfect exactly as he was, because the world needed gentle lights too. The world needed soft glows and quiet kindness and peaceful presences. The wind whispered through the trees one last time, a lullaby just for him, singing him to sleep with its ancient, gentle voice. The stars blinked slowly above, watching over the sleeping forest. And Lumi drifted off to sleep, his little heart full of peace and joy, his tiny body warm and safe, knowing that being gentle was its own kind of magic, perhaps the most important magic of all. Good night, Lumi. Good night, sweet world.